Eric, the
Okay.
content that makes you cringe.
I think agents just pointing at captions on Reels and TikTok as their only form of content strategy, that makes me cringe.
Hey, Lab Coach community, what's going on? Ryan Garson here, Compass agent, founder of Very Social, a social media agency for agents, and now published author. Yes, the Very Social broker. I'm an author. Sounds great to say. I'm super excited about today's podcast or webinar. I say podcast because it's on my mind. I'm here with Eric Simon, the broke agent. I'm sure everybody knows his Instagram handle. It's super popular, super funny, very engaging. I feel like he is one of the thought leaders for the real estate community today. I love everything that he does. He's got a ton going on. And he just started this podcast, Over Ask, with Matt Leonetti. Matt is about to come on here any minute. I hope so. Matt does the funniest videos, I think, in the game. He's hilarious. He's like / musician / real estate agent. He's really done some major classic videos. He's joining us right now. And I'm just a big, hey, Matt, how are you?
Hello.
First time ever joining a Zoom, huh?
So
I'm on 10,000 Zooms a day. I don't know what happened.
I'm giving you guys big intros here.
Sorry.
Honestly, you guys are like two of my favorite people in real estate. Like, I'm a content creator / agent. And I think like content creation is just a part of our job now. And I think, you know, following the leaders and the thought leaders like in our industry just makes you more creative and inspires you. And you two have been inspiring me. You guys are the dynamic duo. I mean, really, you're like a 1-2 punch. And, you know, I love your podcast, Over Ask. I wanted this webinar to be about podcasts. You know, it's something I'm thinking about doing myself. I talk to a ton of agents. I think it's a great way to create content, to connect with your guest. And I want to talk to you guys about it. So the dynamic duo, Over Ask. I guess I'll start this off. Like, how did this whole thing happen? Like, Matt's with the agency in Canada and Eric's in LA with Compass. Like, how did you two connect and come up with this, you know, this awesome idea?
We got the name right on this one here. The promos were above ask, but you know, Over Ask is better.
Listen, I'm not perfect. I just out there trying to create content.
All good.
Yeah, agent. I mean, Eric being with Compass is a bit of a stretch to say, but
Right.
yeah, no, we met. I mean, Eric, obviously the broke agent, has been kind of the cream of the crop in terms of real estate humor and content for years now. And then when I started producing my videos, we connected and he started posting some of my shit. And then he just, you know, we hit it off, I guess. And then we wanted to do something for, like, I would say almost a year, couple months for sure. And then we finally settled on doing a podcast, which we were reluctant at first because everyone has a podcast. So it was kind of like, how are we going to do something that's different? So we thought we'd bring kind of our humor to the forefront of it and try and bring some value, but because a lot of the real estate podcasts are super dry in our opinion. So we wanted to bring like that value, but also be entertaining.
Not that we've listened to any of them.
No, we don't listen to them, but we assume we've heard a couple clips, you know?
Exactly.
So what's the strategy and the business behind the podcast? All right, you guys came together, you decided to be co-host. Like, what's next? Like, I know just like booking guests, you know, what kind of software are you doing? Like, there's a lot of steps that actually go into like getting this process going. Like, how does that all work out?
Well, we had to come up with a name, and Matt came up with Over Ask because he mentions on every episode. I thought no contingencies or something like that would be a good idea. But the original concept was actually just The Broke Agent Presents Over Ask, hosted by Matt Leonetti. And I saw Matt, kind of, becoming the all-star, and I was like, I got to get back in here. He's taking all this away from me. No, I think we did a couple episodes together and realized that we actually had a really good dynamic on the mic, and I had a lot of relationships in the industry and friends as well that would make good podcast guests. But, we're kind of learning as it goes that podcasting is completely different than posting memes or posting videos. It is scheduling, it's booking guests, it's bulk recording, which is an extremely important aspect of this. Is at the beginning, we were really smart. We recorded 6 or 7 episodes and could kind of figure out the infrastructure from that instead of scrambling. So I think a lot of podcasters at the beginning kind of make the mistake of scheduling once a week, then they have no episodes left. So we're learning as it goes, but it's been a really fun process.
Oh, so you guys are actually just kind of doing the podcast, recording them when you can do, but are you guys launching them on a certain same day every, at same time kind of thing?
Yeah. Tuesday mornings, we try to launch them. We do
Tuesday
launch
at 10 PST.
Yeah.
That's smart. And so where could you find the Overask podcast?
Everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
everywhere.
it's on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, but YouTube's not. I mean, most of our listeners and downloads are from Apple and Spotify.
YouTube's picking up though. So
it is picking up.
We're changing our strategy with YouTube with the descriptions and thumbnails. So this has been a really fun content learning curve for us, because we're so used to posting stuff on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. To figure out how to get more views on podcasts is really fun. How do I incorporate the link in my Instagram stories? How do we post it to Facebook? Do we do clips? Do we post it to TikTok? Do we create our own Instagram? So it's been an awesome learning experience so far.
Difficult to get on Spotify or Apple?
No. Anybody with a pulse could get on Spotify. You just upload it.
Got it.
Yeah. At first it was kind of weird. You just have to get we use a platform called Anchor, and they distribute it accordingly. Anchor is associated with Spotify, but there's a bunch of different ones you can use.
Anchor mass produces it, right? You publish it to Anchor and then it's on Apple, Spotify,
Yeah.
Google.
For each episode?
No, we don't pay them at all. I don't know if
So
we're going to
that's
get a bill
pretty
or
much-
something.
That's your software. That's your platform where you guys are actually creating it, the podcast.
We film the podcast on Zoom, then record so we record it on Zoom, upload it to Anchor, we make the edits, and then we post the clips to Instagram, and then the full episode to YouTube as well.
And what about when you say edits? Walk me through that process.
It's really just we don't really edit. Yeah,
there's not major edits to it. Matt said this thing is horrible. Let's edit that out.
Yeah. Well, we post an intro song that Matt just created, which is epic.
Yeah.
And then at the we have our ad reads throughout the episode, and then we'll watch the actual episode afterwards, and then find 2 or 3 clips that could be clips for Instagram Reels or Instagram video or for Facebook.
But then when you say edits, you're taking your podcast and you're cutting it up into 2 or 3 things that you could promo it out or.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have to edit the beginning, because we're talking with the guest before we start, and the end. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the real estate podcasts you can hear, they chop it up so much if someone swears or says something weird. We don't have time for that shit.
Yeah, we keep it raw.
Yeah, we just keep it raw and real.
Wait, we might have to edit that out. So.
Right, of course.
So what are you guys doing with these highlight clips? How are you using those as part of your content to market and promote the podcast or yourselves?
Yeah. Those have been.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those have been. We just got Reels on our Overask Instagram.
Took a year.
Took an actual year. It's been a real game changer. So it's been. Eric is very meticulous with. He posts all the stuff on the Instagram, and it's all about Reels and the song you put underneath the reel. And he is on fire with that right now. He's
DJ, I'm like Afrojack with these things. Yeah. I know exactly the timing and everything. The second the inflection point comes up. Right now. It's not even trending songs necessarily. I should be doing that, but the key is putting it at a very low volume. Put it at 2 or 3, and then as the epic point is being made, that's when the hook comes in. And people are commenting on the songs more than the actual content at this point.
It's fantastic. I mean, he's got a real gift there. It's really something to see. I can't believe some of the stuff.
I would think the music would come from your side, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got an ear. I got to tell you.
Matt's a producer though. Matt produced the opening song for Overask.
Yeah, I'm the top producer.
Yeah, exactly.
In all, yeah. Yeah.
So how do you guys have like a strategy going into these interviews? Like, are you like, Matt, you ask the tough questions, like Eric, throw the lobs to them? Like, how do you, or is it just like natural back and forth? Do you guys have questions you want to ask? Like, what's the insight going into each one of these interviews?
At first it was, we didn't really know what to expect at first. And when I was just hosting, we would have like a meeting the day before of like 40 minutes, an hour of like questions I should ask. And I would have questions like beside me. And then as we kind of got more in the swing of things and Eric came on board, like as a co-host, our chemistry was just kind of there right away. And we decided to really like we said, keep it raw. And we go over the questions a little bit, but we also don't want to like research the guest so much to the point where we know everything about them. Like we want to be surprised by what they're telling us as well. So we kind of have a general idea of what we're going to ask, but you got to be, and that's another thing with starting the podcast. It's a real skill to be able to hold a conversation, because sometimes you don't really get the answer you want to get. And, it's a lot of kind of shorter answers and you're expecting it to go longer. So it's a real skill to kind of keep that going. And just like, you have to dictate where the conversation's going at all times.
We've gotten way better at it too. If you watch the earlier episodes, it's sometimes we're thinking of what to say next. And now we're really taking in what the guest is saying and then elaborating on that. So just like anything, whether it's video production, content production, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But yeah, at the beginning, we were meeting for like hours going over questions. But our first guests were Ryan Serhant, Jordan Cohen, Mauricio. So like
Maya
we led off
Vander.
with like murderer's row of real estate.
Yeah.
So it's a baseball reference.
At the beginning, it was super weird because like someone would be like, yeah, so I like, I cold call and door knock, and they'd go into this whole thing, and I'd be like, yeah, so what's your social media? Like we wouldn't be able to
what's your hashtag
expand on
strategy?
anything.
Exactly.
Like we would just ask the questions that we had there. And now, like Eric said, we can actually expand on what they're saying and actually listen.
Now we're geniuses.
Yeah, we're just complete geniuses at this point.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool to see our full potential. Just, have you seen that show Limitless? We got it all.
With Bradley Cooper. Exactly.
Yeah, great.
So what about like, what's the actual theme of the show? I know like I'm kind of thinking about doing a podcast. Like, do I want it to be about New York City, about entrepreneurship, about real estate? Like, what's your actual like theme? Like, are you just trying to stay in your lane? Like, do you have other people that aren't in real estate? Like, is it more motivational? Is it content creation? Like, how do you, like, what do you guys do? And what kind of advice do you have for, other agents out there that like want to create a podcast and kind of are coming up with like, what's their podcast going to be about?
Our general theme is definitely marketing, and then specifically marketing in real estate. So we have had a couple other guests. We had Samir on, who created Zillow Gone Wild. He created Celebrity Home Shopping. He runs the meme page Kale Salad. So we've had a lot of real estate adjacent people that are kind of experts in their field as well. And we want to actually expand outside of the real estate industry and get more people. But we're experts. We're marketing experts. I think we're really good at social media and content production and growth strategy on Instagram. So that's kind of always been our angle is, how does this translate to social media? And the overall goal of it is to make people laugh, of course, and then for agents to actually get value from the podcast and learn something they could actually implement in their business. Awesome. Right, Matt?
That's right, Eric.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any success stories from the podcast? Any kind of like highlights?
Yeah, well, I mean, the cool thing about the podcast as well, just to expand, we're learning so much too. So like we have, we're really focused on the marketing and the social media side of things, but we're also bringing on agents who, like Jordan Cohen doesn't do any of that. Like he's got a great social media following and everything because he's a celebrity realtor, but he's a traditional real estate agent. Like he does like mail outs and a lot of print ad and stuff like that. So it's really cool to learn from all these different people. Because you're just learning every day and having conversations. In terms of success stories, well, we've had awesome guests. So I would say that's like having Ryan Serhant and Jordan and Mauricio Umansky.
The Bachelor, Ari Leondike.
We had the Bachelor. But in terms of business, like the Maya Vander episode has gotten me like this year, I'm going to be selling about $4 million of volume directly from that episode. So That's pretty cool. Eric, do you have any volume that you got from?
Yeah, volume and Instagram following.
Yeah.
Shit, I fumbled that.
There you go. That's big. That's
Yeah,
huge.
but it's given us so much value in the sense that we're putting our faces out there. Before the Broke Agent brand, I do an occasional video, speaking gigs, podcast, stuff like that, but I wasn't really in the forefront of it. So now it's given a lot of people the chance to get to know me more and understand kind of my skill set and other stuff I could bring than just putting like a caption on a picture. And then also the networking aspect of podcasting is huge. So everybody that we've had on are now our followers, our friends. I see them at real estate conferences. I'm sure there's referrals in there somewhere. Obviously, I don't do anything with it, as Matt, I'm sure will mention, but it's been great just to like get an entire new network of people that now are interacting with our content. We're introducing them to new people, and the DMs we get too of people saying like, hey, I just listened to this episode and I'm implementing whatever you guys talked about. It's a cool feeling for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's actually really cool just like to look at the guests that you've had on, like Ryan Serhant, freaking love that guy. Just a lot of really great realtors. How would you say like they all differ, like they're in different parts of the country, they have different styles, what could you say is like the difference, like, somebody from, LA to New York to like somebody who has 1 million followers to like somebody who's, just really on Snapchat, or, like, how would you say the guests differ in their like style and the way that they market, maybe from like a successful agent to not so successful?
We only have the utmost successful agents.
Yeah, it's
on the
only top
podcast.
producers.
Yeah,
we don't have
complete.
just your
You guys
average
need to
Joe
bring in
realtor
like a
on this.
schmuck who has no idea. Just
Yeah,
like,
we don't have a bunch of
doing it, like,
hacks.
don't do this.
Yeah, just a whole episode on just railing on some guy, tell him not to do anything that he says.
Talk to brokers. Just like, give me your worst agent. Let's have them on and like be asking the question. Like,
May as well just
I
have
don't know, but, like,
myself
no,
on at that point.
The thing
like,
is,
how would you say you have such a diverse group of these real estate agents that are just at the top of their game? Like, do you see a lot of the same things that they're doing? Are they doing different things?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of similar traits with like the very successful agents, whether you're Ryan Serhant or another like someone like Paul Greenberg who we had, or Austin Keitner, or who aren't famous, but they're doing a lot of the same things that these people are doing. And there's definitely a lot of similarities in the way they've got to be how successful that they are. So, I mean, Serhant has a bit of a unique road because he's had the show and everything, and he's totally crushed it after the show too. Like he was telling me that he gets more leads and stuff from YouTube now. Like the show is kind of like that kind of built his platform, and now he keeps expanding on it, which you can tell like with everyone else on that show, he's definitely kind of in a place of his own now, in a league of his own. He's really expanded in what does he say? He expands always in always in all ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what he says.
That's what he said.
I actually did a
Expansion.
deal with him.
Yeah.
I did a deal with him, and I made him get on the phone and tell my wife that I was the #1 Ryan. Of course, he didn't say that, and then the deal fell through. It was, but that was my Ryan Serhant moment.
Yeah, we've also had like a ton of different guests that specialize in a specific aspect of the industry. So we had Jeremy Knight on that is crushing it on YouTube. He does Austin specific YouTube content, and he's got a relatively big channel. I think it's 10,000, 12,000 subscribers, and he gets all of his leads on YouTube. Today, we just had on Carlin Ekret, a fellow Canadian of Matt's who crushes real estate Facebook groups and talks about getting referrals on Facebook groups and how to start a real estate Facebook group and how to stay engaged in it. We've had cold callers on, door knockers, people that are content producers, people that are real estate influencers specific to TikTok. So our variety, I think, has been good.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, if you ask,
that's the word I came up with.
Yeah,
What's that?
What?
No, go on. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, if you ask me, we have the best podcast ever. I think. I don't know. I might be biased, but I think it's fantastic.
Ryan Serhant's podcast is pretty good. He gets some big guests.
Is it?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Serhant's there. But
big money energy.
Yeah.
I think you guys are just
big funny energy, right, Matt?
It's funny, but I think you guys really are marketing experts, and I think it shows. And And it just seems like you're just like getting smarter by every interviewer, and just like everybody has like a different like style and a different way that they do business. Just like being a broker, you run into like all walks of lights when you're doing deals, and it's the same way like across the country. And I think it's also like it's seeing like who kind of like steps up and could really like stand out. What would you say is like the one skill set of like all these people that you're interviewing, these real estate agents? Do you think is it like their will, is there being creative? Like, what do you think like really makes like a good agent, like that kind of good marketing real estate agent?
I think all of them have been pretty consistent in whatever they're doing. So Jeremy Knight, the YouTuber, he's posting, twice a week on multiple channels. The Facebook group person that we just had on, Carlin, is talking about how you have to stay consistent in the Facebook groups. The door knocker has an entire thing of consistency. I mean, I think that's just been the general theme throughout, is all these people have built their business by being extremely consistent and tactical.
Yeah, it's not necessarily
so hard to do too. Like being consistent as real estate agents, like we have 100 jobs, and to like stay consistent on like your marketing and social media marketing, I think that's 101.
And they're all themselves. They all found their lane. Like they found, okay, I'm good on video, or I'm good on podcasting, or I'm good at cold calling, or I'm good at door knocking, or I'm good on TikTok specifically, and then stuck with that. And that's what's cool about this business, is you could just do a million different things and stick with one of them.
Yeah. And if you can find that, like find what you're actually converting on and what you actually like doing, it's way easier to be consistent with it. Because you're like me, door knocking or cold calling, like I will never be consistent with that. Like I can maybe do it for 2 weeks before I want to just like end the whole career.
Well, I've seen your door knocking video, so it doesn't seem like that would be your thing. That was hilarious, by the way.
Not my thing. Yeah, not my thing for sure. A lot of this shit isn't my thing.
All right, awesome. So I want to do something a little bit fun. I want to hear hot takes on like certain social issues. So I guess
like politics,
not politics. It's like,
what's your take on immigration?
What's
your take on
stuff that I'm gonna like throw you some lobs. I think you'll be able to talk about it.
Okay, who answers first?
Do you guys want to? You guys like have the like dynamic do a thing? Do you want me to call on you, or do you want to just throw it out?
Calling on us, I think would be easier.
Okay. I was gonna say we could just kind of mind read, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Eric, batching videos.
Do it. I mean, not my style, but everybody that does it, Glenda Baker, Tay DeCarlo, friends of the show, both had them on the podcast. They will spend 50 hours, not 50 hours, that's an insane amount. They will spend 5 hours one day, once a month, and batch out 50 videos. And then they have their content production for the entire month or 2 months. It's so effective, especially if you're a busy real estate agent. So batching podcast content, batching other content, smart move.
Definitely. Yeah.
Way easier to stay consistent too.
That's what all the coaches are saying right now. And it seems like you kind of have done that a little bit with your podcast too, in a certain way. Consistency, I think that helps with that. All right, Matt, are you going to be selling any real estate on the metaverse?
No. Next question. It's a hot take, right?
Matt hates the metaverse.
Fuck, man. The NFTs and the metaverse and the crypto. I know there's something evolve there, but I can't.
You know what?
I can't figure it out. I can't. Yeah, go for it.
I just saw how school and learning is going to be in the metaverse, and you're like a character and like school. I don't know, kind of interesting stuff. All right, next one, Eric. And I want this for both of you. I'm actually going to like this. Eric, the content that makes you cringe.
I think agents just pointing at captions on Reels and TikTok as their only form of content strategy, that makes me cringe. I think anytime I scroll through Reels and I just see someone kind of going like this to a song and making a face, it seems very forced. Some people are good at it and they're eccentric and they're charismatic. And I've done this before too, by the way. But I make fun of it. But I think that makes me cringe because I think everyone's like, okay, I got to make Reels. Oh, here's the song. I'm just going to point at captions. Here's how you get pre-approved. 1, 2, 3. Makes me cringe.
Oh yeah, I feel you. You should hear me doing these TikTok lip singings. That makes me cringe just watching myself.
My own content sometimes makes me cringe for sure.
Well, you guys can't even watch your own podcast. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
Matt, what makes you cringe? And I definitely don't think it's your Drake video.
No, it's for me. I don't like the steering wheel shots, like offer accepted, and then like just little bit of the steering wheel so you can see they have a Porsche, and their Rolex
Watch.
is just kind of showing there, and then they have their fucking just a bunch of different stuff. I feel like if you want to flex, just flex. Just say, hey,
No
check
subtle
out-
flex.
Yeah, don't do a subtle flex. Just be like, check out my Porsche.
Yeah.
Like I'd respect that way more instead of offer accepted with the little in the I'm not into it. Just I'm glad you're doing well. Just tell me you're doing well and show me your Porsche. It's my advice.
I like it. All right, we got a question real quick. What kind of mics are you guys using, and what kind of equipment do you guys have for your podcast?
They're both Blue Yeti mics. They're like $200 on Amazon, and then we each have a ring light.
We just got these cameras, so we're
Yes,
improving
we're gonna improve
all of our
soon.
everything. I'm
We
gonna
don't
get a
know.
studio.
Yeah, we're both
Maybe.
gonna get studios. I'm in the middle of buying another house right now, so my studio is gonna be unreal in there.
Yeah, we're upgrading in 2022
We're
for sure.
upgrading.
So what? So all right. So if you guys had to move to one city to do your podcast, would you guys move to LA? Where'd you guys move to? Eric, would you go to Canada? Would you go to New York? Like where would Miami? Where would you guys be the central point to do the show together?
We've talked about this, and we are going to implement it.
We're not going to
We're-
move in together, but
We're not going to move in, but we're going to do live podcasts. So I'll come down to LA though, because that's where more. I mean, I think we're going to do some live stuff in LA and New York. So we just feel like we know the most agents there that would bring value to the podcast. And
No, but if
yeah.
you guys had to move somewhere permanently together, where would that middle point be?
well, it's got to be a warm weather place. I don't want
Yeah,
the temperature
I
dropping
agree.
below 70 degrees. So, Florida is great. I was just in Florida. Miami would be sick.
No, Miami's too much for me, I think. I don't know if I could do it. I feel like I would love to. I've been there. Well, I've never actually been there. I would love to.
What?
Well, I
It's a-
was in the airport.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah.
I would love
I
to
mean,
like
every
go there
airport's too
for
much.
months at a time, but I don't know if I could live in Miami. I would have to see. I can't.
You guys can think about that. You guys talk about that on your own.
Okay, yeah,
All
we will. We'll dedicate
Yeah,
an entire
no.
podcast to it,
Yeah, now we're just.
where we can move
Maybe
in.
we
I mean,
should-
think
we'll
about
have
this,
We'll
then.
do a poll like where should Over Ask Agency be permanently? Maybe we
Right.
have,
Oh,
like,
you know what, Eric?
Hmm.
Belize. We're number one in Belize.
We are the number one podcast in Belize, so that's great.
What?
We're not exactly
Yeah.
sure where it is. We believe it's a
But that's
it
where
sounds
Little
fun, that place. Like,
island
it's
off the
like a
coast
party.
of Europe, possibly.
we'll go. We'll.
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
We'll
for
go
the
there.
people watching. I know where Belize is. You know where Belize is?
Me?
Ryan.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say.
I've heard about it. I heard they party there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we would.
yeah.
I think we'd
Yeah, I
move
think
in
there's, like,
together
a lot
there.
of.
I
don't
think
know.
you're thinking of Ibiza.
No, I've heard Belize is like a party spot.
Okay.
Really? All
Yeah,
right.
and I
well, maybe
guess if they're watching you, they probably like to laugh and sell real estate.
Like to party.
it all
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
party now. Yeah.
All right, podcast. Would you rather watch them or listen to them, Eric?
I listen to them. So even when I watch them on YouTube, I'm just listening to it. I don't need to see too many like dynamic images or anything coming at me unless there's some viral moment or fight that happens on the podcast. That's something I want to watch. But, or like to see the expression or there's an awkward moment or something cringe that happens, but I'd listen to them. That's kind of the point of them, I think.
What
I like to
about Matt?
watch them more. I just like seeing the expression.
Eric, who is your favorite content creator realtor?
Besides Matt,
Slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't know, whoever you want. It could be Matt. It could
I
be
got
me.
a great answer. Sterling Granger, aka Real Estate Creative. This guy creates the most fire
Yeah.
memes I have ever seen in my entire life. He does live action memes. He sends them to me. He doesn't really post them that much on his page, but the guy is a absolute talent. So Real Estate Creative. Dan O'Neill, of course, too. Danny Deals.
He does
Tay
some
DiCarlo.
really. I like his videos.
He's great. Yeah.
He's
And he's
awesome.
your party planner in the.
He's the social chair of the broke
Social
fraternity. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Matt, what about you?
message him.
I really enjoy Taya DiCarlo. She's just very much herself, and I really like that. And she's just like the nicest person. So I'd
Hey,
probably
Matt,
go
do
with
you
Taya.
remember right when the pandemic hit, we did a Facebook Live and I had the other meme guy from New Jersey. Who's the guy? He's
Oh,
pretty good.
Luca. Yeah.
Luca, what's his meme? What's his account?
Actually, agents.
Actually, Agents. He's pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right,
wasn't. I was thinking like video creator. That's what I was.
All right, no, she's great. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's just like on point. She does it in one take. She's awesome.
She crushes.
I'm a fan of everybody's. I'm literally,
Yes.
I watch everybody's stuff. I get inspiration. I try to do my own kind of style.
Yeah, shout out Actually Agents, creates good content. Glenda
That's
Baker too. Similar, not similar to Taya, but she does really cool storytelling
She's hot.
on
Yeah.
her TikTok and Reels.
And she's
Yeah.
got a great accent too.
Yes, she does.
Love it.
All right. So Eric, if you
Yes.
had to pick one agent to sell your house and then one agent to buy with, who would it be?
One agent to sell my house. I mean, I would choose Matt because the guy's going to produce a funny video with it that I know is going to reach 50,000 to 100,000 people. I mean, the last video he did put up straight numbers,
Straight numbers.
320,000. I mean, we did a little collab on that. So
That's Michael
might
Jordan
have
numbers.
might
right
have had
there.
something to do with it, but I'd say Matt as the list agent. As the buy agent, I need someone that's a kind of more of a hustler that might be, knocking on doors, seeing what's out there, seeing what's off market. So I'm thinking Danny Deals, Dan O'Neill.
See, I was gonna go. Okay.
He's in the streets, he knows what's
He's-
going on.
He's definitely in the streets.
Exactly. He's a
He's
good
buyer's broker
networker.
in the streets.
Yeah.
To sell my house, I'd definitely go.
With me.
Yeah, I would just want to like see how long it could stay on the market.
Yeah. It wouldn't
But-
stay on long at all because I'd sell
Yeah.
it so fast.
No, you just sell like crazy.
Yeah.
To buy,
Don't say Sir Hunter.
I know it's the easy answer,
I know,
but I
that's
want
what I
to
was
be on.
gonna
I
say.
want to be on TV though. I'd go. You know what? Honestly, I'd list with Jordan Cohen
Smart.
because the guy's just complete fire all the time. He doesn't do buys, so I can't even choose him as a buy. He would probably do a buy for me though. I'm just gonna go Jordan Cohen all around. And if Jordan Cohen wouldn't do it, I would go to maybe Jason Cassidy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric, what's your favorite real estate TV show?
I don't really watch them. My roommate used to watch $1 Million Listing and TiVo it back in the day. So I guess I'd say $1 Million Listing because we've had Ryan on the show and I knew a couple of those guys. I knew the Altman brothers. They used to work in my brokerage in Los Angeles. I like them as well. So I'd go $1 Million Listing.
Yep. $1 Million Listing and Sirhan was the reason I got into the industry. So got to go with $1 Million Listing.
All right. You guys kill it in real estate, but if you had to be in a different, just for what you do, but if you had to be in a different industry and let's say you wanted to transition what you're doing now into any other industry, finance, tech, acting, like what industry do you think you would take like with what you're doing in real estate, but in a different industry?
Sports, but Barstool exists. So we're trying to do that here.
Yeah, we're trying to be the bar stool of
Yeah,
real estate.
exactly.
All right. I like Dave. So and I do bagel reviews. So I didn't make that up on my own.
Bagel reviews. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. If you want a good bagel recommendation, I got you.
Do you post
All right.
them weekly on your Instagram?
Yeah. I try to be consistent, as best I can. But yeah, I probably reviewed like 25 different bagel restaurants. I actually, I'm part of this event called Bagel Fest where we get the top bagel
Holy
restaurants in
shit.
New York City. Yeah. I take the bagel.
Going all out. So
I
is
take
there
bagel
really
content very serious.
is there really a huge difference between bagels? Are you telling me there's like a big
Well,
Oh, yeah.
there's a big confrontation between Montreal bagels and New York bagels.
Okay.
And it was on the 15th of January, it was National Bagel Day.
Yeah.
And I rented, you're going to think I'm nuts. I rented a party bus and took like 25 people to a bagel tour. We went to 4 different bagel shops and we went to Black Seed Bagel, which is Montreal bagel. And literally everybody hated it. It got like on a scale of like 1 to 10, it got like 5s and 6s. So yeah, I think, New York bagels, they say it's really like what makes the bagels so special in New York is the water. We have, really great water. And we've just been doing it forever. Like we have bagel rollers here. We don't really use a machine. We take our bagels very seriously.
I can see that.
All All right, we're gonna end. We're gonna wrap this up. I just want to do a couple more hot takes, but I want to do it for certain people. I kind of want to throw out some big players in real estate, and then we'll wrap this up. And we'll go from each one. Eric, my coach, not my actual coach, but part of his program, Tom Ferry.
Just what comes to mind.
Yeah.
GOAT. He was an early supporter of the Broke Agent, one of the first people to reshare one of my posts, which gave me immediate validation. And he invited me into his office multiple times. I kind of see him as a mentor. His network has been phenomenal for me as far as developing friendships and developing like access into the industry. So he's been a great friend. And I actually was just on his podcast a couple of weeks ago too. So love him. Love Tom Ferry. I'm going to be at his event in Vegas next week. We're hosting an event Wednesday with Boomtown. boomtownry.com/overask from 6 to 8 p.m.
Do you want a new person or you want to do Tom Ferry too?
We can both do him. I love Tom. Just nice dude.
Awesome.
Yeah,
All right, sticking in that Tom umbrella, marketing guru, Jason Pantana.
Oh, we're huge fans of Jason.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's a nice guy. No,
he's
Pantana
like
is the social media god when it comes to real estate social media. He's great at articulating exactly what agents have to do. He talks about Google My Business like every day. He's just great at telling everything that you should do in social media and saying it to a real estate agent. Love Pantana. Friend of the show, had him on the podcast.
Yep.
Awesome. What about Gary Vee?
I love Gary Vee. I'm a huge Gary Vee fan. I don't know about Eric. He's laughing, but
no, I'm just because Gary Vee's great. We love Gary Vee.
Yeah.
He's the foundation of all this stuff, basically, right? I mean, as far as the content production, I think everybody in real estate has, at least trickled down Gary Vee effect almost, where we implement all of his strategies from documenting to posting stories to researching NFTs to posting on YouTube nonstop. Like he is, the content GOAT.
He just gave you a different look to like what success is.
Yeah.
I mean, he just has these huge companies and makes so much money, and he wears a fucking toque and a shirt and a pair of jeans every day.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. I don't have his money though. So,
Yeah. Wait till we get another sponsor on the podcast.
Yeah. Once we get a sponsor,
chats. Yeah.
By the time
I'm thinking I want a sponsor, very social. I like you two. I want to get behind that marketing machine of yours.
Is Very Social a company? That's the book too. So it's
Very Social is a social media agency where we help collaborate with real estate agents on like taking their social media to a next level. It's a curated service. You get a dedicated social media manager that has a skill set in graphic design and copywriting. They're under like an umbrella that just knows real estate. And it's a total collaboration. We work with them to really like take their content to the next level, let them know what's trending, where, you base your content really like based on the month, based on the season. So we're just like really on top of things. We know them when we post for them, it's authentic because we want it to also to keep it consistent. So it's a curated service that I started 2 years ago. We have 90 real estate agents. We're a Compass preferred vendor. So we work with a lot of Compass agents, but we have Douglas Elliman, Keller Williams, none at the agency. I'd love to work with some agency clients. So yeah, I mean, I like, just like you guys, talk to some of the best marketers in the game. I actually manage like real estate agents. And so on a macro level, like I'm really seeing what like agents are doing in like real time. Like I love talking about like good social media and bad social media and really trying to, get our clients like out of doing bad social media because it's so out there. And I think it's just like people need to be like you and just need to be really authentic. And, they don't need to be Ryan Serhan or like some of the top agents. Like they're good at what they do for a reason and just really lean on it. And then I wrote my book, just kind of like really just to inspire people on, taking their social to the next level and creating content and really working off like their pillars of content. But I take a lot of it from guys like you. I love you too. Matt, we've done a few different, webinars and podcasts. And Eric, I've always like admired you. So it's great to kind of get to know you guys. Thank you so much. One last thing before we go. It's, the new year. What social media platform would you give advice to agents that are watching to really like put their time and effort into? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
It's always changing. Definitely YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I would say. But Instagram's making some big moves, I feel like, and they've already gotten more people back on the platform, because for a while there it was kind of looking a little dicey. Everyone was on TikTok, but I think they're making the right moves to get people back. They're doing like a whole subscriber thing, and they're really trying to support their content creators, which I think is going to get a lot more creators back on the platform, because you'll be able to monetize it like you can on YouTube. Because I've heard, I don't know, but I've heard the TikTok monetization isn't great. I don't know from firsthand experience, but that's what we've heard. So I think it depends on the content you're producing. Like if you're doing long form, it's not going to perform well on Instagram, so go to YouTube. But if you're doing short stuff like Eric and I do, TikTok and Instagram's your place.
Awesome. Eric, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Matt. I think Instagram's done a phenomenal job at evolving and taking everything that TikTok is doing and implementing it in their algorithm too. So now with 0 followers on Instagram, you could grow like you can on TikTok with Reels. So I think, the evolution of all this content is obviously vertical video, doing 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I mean, your retention drops, if anything past like 7 seconds, people stop watching basically. So I think short form video is what agents should definitely try to focus on mastering right now. And yeah, I mean, Instagram is the best place to host an audience because of the messaging feature. It's a communication app, the story feature. You could really drive more clicks with Instagram stories, the way you could actually customize your link now and tell people to click on it. There's just not as many options on TikTok. TikTok is the best app, in my opinion, for consuming content. It's fun. It's kind of like you're watching Netflix or something. You just keep scrolling for 45 minutes. But Instagram, as far as hosting from a real estate agent perspective, I think that's the best platform still.
Yeah.
Also, that's where my following is. So it's kind of self-serving that I'm saying.
I feel like Instagram's I think it just works best for real estate agents, because I think some of the other platforms like a TikTok is a little bit more video focused. You have to be consistent. So you're really shooting a lot of videos, and YouTube is more long form. I think Instagram, you can kind of, it could like make you versatile, where you can kind of like mix and match, like where the others are like really just, all video and certain types of video. But just kind of getting back to what I do, I work with agents on branding. And I think branding yourself on these platforms is so important. These guys are talking to the top, marketers in real estate, and they've all built successful businesses by marketing themselves. And I think marketing is so important in real estate, in life. And social media is just a great way to connect. And going back to the podcast, that's what they're doing. They're connecting with their guests. They're making friends with their guests. They're using it as content pieces. Like the podcast is branding 101. And, if you're saying like, oh, I don't know what to post, like we're real estate agents. We're social people. We love to talk to people. That's probably our skill set and why we got into the business. Like starting a podcast, I think allows you to like talk about a topic that you feel comfortable with. And then it's a content creation tool. It's a networking tool. So you guys have honestly like set the bar. You two are the dynamic duo. I'm big fans. Thank you so much for coming on the Lab Coats webinar. Have a good day.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. See you in Vegas.
See ya.